Alright, so this is it's me, and just gonna go do a really quick video, and this isn't gonna be a quick video that's 30 minutes long. This is going to be a quick video that's actually quick. But so basically, one of the things that have been coming out recently is that by blink rate, you are able to determine if someone is human or non-human. And I believe that that is true. However, there may be some caveats to this. Lately, for some reason, I've been thinking maybe I am misjudging people. When I was going off of the transgender stuff, I was figuring that over 95%, maybe over 97 or who knows what percent of people are non-human. And for some reason I've been thinking maybe I should see if I can correlate this with the blinking. And I've been trying to do it, and I don't know, I don't really see very many people who I would think are non-human because they seem to be somewhat androgynous. I don't really see them blinking heavy. The typical massive blinker stuff, I don't really see that on the streets. I've been thinking about this for, I don't know, a couple days or whatever, and I was thinking like, that's a little weird, but I'll have to, see it a little more before I make a video on it. And so then again, today I'm looking at people and I just don't see it. I just don't see the stuff you see on TV with people who are blinking, like once every 2, 3, 4 seconds. I just don't see it on the street. Now, I've really been investigating this by myself for pretty much a week. And there's still more investigation that I need to do before I can really start to say something conclusive. But basically, I am like the only human actively studying the Illuminati, quote unquote, at its deepest levels, which is to say, the fallen angels and demons who walk among human beings, pretending to be human. I'm pretty much the only human really studying this, so, when you hear, I hate to say it, but when you hear stuff from other people, even from me, don't trust me either, but when you hear stuff from a lot of these other channels, take it with a grain of salt and see if it matches up with actual reality. And when I'm doing that with the blinking, I'm not really seeing these hyper blinkers out here. Now, what's interesting though is I am pretty sure that if I were to put the camera to these people, then I would see them massively blink. And so what's going on here? I think what's going on here are cameras are capturing things that the naked human eye will not capture. And what I think about that is, it's actually, some people are disparaging science for good reason too, but it's a quote-unquote scientific fact that, visible light cameras, they actually see in a range that the naked human eye cannot see. I know that, quote-unquote, as a fact. The human eye can only see a certain wavelength of the electromagnetic spectrum, okay? And a typical color camera can see a little bit more than what the human eye can see. And so what I'm thinking is, when you put the camera to these things, you will see them blink at a inhuman rate, but if you were to just look at them, they would maybe blink human. I'm not totally sure on that. Still gotta, gonna have to go to the mall, gonna have to go to some other places, see if I can really start to nail this down. But I'm thinking that in real life, maybe some of these like um, terror creatures, they're not exactly blinking super heavy. Um, and I think maybe the cameras are catching things your naked human eye won't capture. It's just like the shape shifting. In fact, I'll get into that a little later. It's just like the shape shifting. When you see these people, quote unquote, shape shift on camera, are they actually shape shifting to your naked eye? I mean, they may actually be shape shifting, but your eye probably isn't going to catch it. Your eyes are probably not going to catch it. And I kind of think that's what's going on with the blinking. With the old reptilian stuff, which is basically, this blinking stuff, quote unquote, came from, Demon Master. Well, Demon Master got that stuff from the old, reptilian people who kind of faded away, after Flat Earth came out. And Yahweh Rules too. Well, Yahweh Rules also, not Yahweh Rules 2. But anyway, the thing going on here is those reptilian people, they would sometimes talk about like a third eyelid or something like that. And, quote unquote, third eyelid. And that, I'm not saying these things actually have a third eyelid. I mean, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I think these things may be blinking at beyond human rates, but with your naked eye, you're only going to see the regular human eyelids blink for the most part. Perhaps, maybe, I'm still investigating. And with a camera on them, you're going to catch that infrared blinking, which could be what it is, that you wouldn't catch with your naked human eye. I'm not saying a typical camera can see totally into infrared, but I think it kind of bleeds into that infrared spectrum a little bit. Not so much where you can see actual infrared, but just enough, just a little bit, just enough, so where you can maybe see certain energy fields with your color camera that you can't see with your naked eye. And I think that might be what's explaining, seeing some of these non-humans blink so much on camera, but not quite so much, to your naked eye. I think it's just like the shape-shifting. Now, don't get me wrong. I have seen people shape-shift their eyes with my naked eye. I've seen them go from like non-human to human. Okay, I've seen them go from like a snake eye pupil to like human pupils. Alright, I've actually seen it. It wasn't contacts or nothing. I've seen people shapeshift their eyes before. But I think a lot of shapeshifts are done almost spontaneously or something like that. And maybe it's slightly into the infrared spectrum, and you're not going to be able to see that much into the infrared spectrum with your naked eye. But with a camera, you can see just slightly into it. Not so much that you can see, heat signatures in the dark like the Predator, but just enough so where you can maybe see slight shape shifts that you wouldn't see with your naked eye. And you can maybe see extra blinking that you wouldn't see with your naked eye also. I think that's what's going on here. And so, in real life, blinking may not quite be the best way to tell a tear from a real human. I'm still researching, I'm still going out and like kind of seeing with my own naked eyes. But like when Demon Master says, he be seeing these like triple blinkers everywhere, he's not seeing with human eyes. He's seeing again into the infrared kind of spectrum. They say vampires, can see at night like werewolves and stuff. Well, how is that? Well, part of the reason that might be the case is because they see a bit into the infrared spectrum, or perhaps more, into than a normal human can. Perhaps they see all the way into the infrared spectrum, or whatever. And maybe that's how, I hear they can see auras, and maybe that's how they can do it as well, because they can see into spectrums that the normal human eye cannot see. And so, anyway, with their extended vision, they can kind of see slight shapeshifts and extra blinking that a normal human cannot see. So, I mean, with Demon Master saying that he can kind of see these, blinkers in society, well, if you're looking at it with normal naked human eyes, you might not be able to see it. Just something I'm throwing out there. I'm still researching. You know, there's no real, like I said, I mean, hate to say it, but I'm probably the only human actually really studying this. And, still researching, but it's been something I've been thinking about for at least a week. Maybe I'm misjudging people. Let me try to check the blinking, and then I'm not quite seeing the blinking match up, I don't think. And I'm like, you know, because of my previous line of work, I kind of know just a little bit about, cameras and EM spectrums and stuff like that. So I'm kind of thinking that might be what's going on here, but I don't know for a certainty. So maybe I'll go amongst certain populations of groups, certain populations of people who I think are more cloned out than usual, and I'll see if I can see them blinking at excessive human rates, and if I can't, it's pretty much going to give me all I really need to know. But I mean, it's just a theory. Just a theory. And I'm gonna see if it's true, but